It is always an absolute distinct pleasure to have one of the greatest players in the history of the NBA. Do not sleep on that claim, folks. It is very legitimate. One of the, again, not just one of the greatest NBA players, one of the greatest Golden State Warriors players, the second greatest, more specifically. I think that's a claim that, even though it's subjective, it's safe to say. Hall of Famer Rick Barry joins us next. Rick, ready to go, sir? How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. I'm just excited that the Warriors are still alive.
That makes one of us, and I'll explain what I mean in a second. We're powered by FanDuel. The program's called the Golden Days.
You can't handle the truth.
Oh yeah, Rick, I'm gonna start the show off by stealing one of your bits. What drives us crazy? You know what drives me crazy, sir? Is fandom trumping logic. I pride myself on bringing logic to this show, sir. We've talked about this ad nauseum almost, I feel like. The topic of winning and not caring about tanking. But I cannot ignore the fact that if the Golden State Warriors, Rick, and people can follow you, sir, on all social media platforms at Rick24Barry, that if the Warriors win this game Friday, they drop 4 spots in the draft. They lose any hope of of winning the lottery in a draft where top 4 represents potential greatness. And you have OKC awaiting you, where I give the Warriors zero chance. With all that said, sir, that is my cynicism, my pessimism for the Warriors playing Friday. I know I'm being a negative Nancy, but I don't care. How are you doing, and what's your reaction to my very dark take?
Well, from the standpoint of what's best for the team, it wouldn't be best to win to give them a chance for next season. That's the sad part about it. There's some way, somehow, they have to try to figure this out so that nobody can do what they've been doing. I mean, almost 170 or 80 guys were not playing in games the other day. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it gets back to my old thing that I talked about before you were even born, probably, about the fact that in pro sports, every game being played, there should be money on the line for every player on every team. Thereby, it would eliminate that, because no player is going to go out there and not play his best or want to play, especially for the guys that are making big bucks, like a Steph Curry, who might be getting $1 million for every win that the team has. So that would put a stop to all of that craziness.
Right.
And even with that, you still would have the situation that you're talking about. It could come down to dropping 4 spots, not getting a chance to be able to have a pick that could be a little better pick. And it's going to put more emphasis on a team having people who really know what the hell talent looks like when they go out to scout, so that you can have a deep pool of players that you'd like to be able to have on your team, by understanding you don't just pick somebody based upon their sheer athleticism. You have to know who to pick, who really has the ability to be a player with the kind of heart and the kind of determination and dedication to the game that's necessary to be a great player.
100% agree. And again, in most seasons, you would not have this really unusual scenario where the top 4 seems to be predetermined in the NBA draft. The players are AJ DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, Caleb Wilson, and Cam Boozer. And again, if it wasn't a setup where you win this lottery, the Warriors have a 1 in 11 odds. Those are the odds that they have. 9.4%. That represents 1 in 11 approximately. And those are the odds that the Warriors have if they lose this game Friday. It's a shitty situation. And Rick, they're going to address it, supposedly. Adam Silver has this as an agenda item to change the rules and dissuade tanking, dissuade incentives to lose. It's been present all season, and it's been one of the rare stains, I feel like, on the NBA as a whole, having a third of your teams just throw in the towel about halfway through the year, if not even before that. With all that said, the Warriors did win. The game itself was unbelievable. Stephen Curry was, again, another legendary performance. If you've been watching him your whole life, then it should not have surprised you, even with the massive layoff. Rick, where did last night's Stephen Curry performance rank to you among some of the more significant NBA moments?
Well, I mean, it was an elimination game, obviously, so you're out of the playoffs if you don't win. Being off for as long as he was off, and to come back after such a short period of time and play at the level that he played at, is really remarkable. How in the hell he got himself in good enough shape to do that is beyond me. To hit 7 3-pointers. But and as great as he was, which you expect that from Steph, the guy has played at a level that very few have ever attained in their lifetime, and very few will attain. He's one of the most remarkable shooters and players that I've ever seen, plus being a great person on top of that.
Yes.
But the exciting thing for me about the team was the performance of so many of the other players who stepped up and played at the level necessary to keep themselves alive. Now, I know it's a crazy, crazy long shot, but if the team and the guys that played at that level can sustain that for a period of time, it would be very interesting to see what might happen in that first round of the playoffs if they could get by Phoenix. Because playing at that level, Oklahoma City better damn be ready to be able to play some great basketball to beat that team playing like that.
Do you think if we don't mind jumping ahead, let's say the Warriors win Friday, Game 1, Warriors OKC Sunday. How seriously do you take the Warriors in a series like that? Because it sounds like you're giving the Warriors a chance against OKC.
Yeah, it's a big if they can play at that level, all of the guys that played at that level, because I told you the problem with the Warriors, and we've spoken about this all season long, is the inconsistency of the majority of the players on the Warriors to have a game that is such a great game, and then the next game, in other words, they get 20, the next game they get 4. I mean, come on, Santos got 20. He was unbelievable. The big guys shot the hell out of him in 3-point range. I mean, Porzingis. Yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch. Coming from behind, they could have just folded it up, but they didn't. I mean, they had big leads at late in the game. They fought back and came away with a great victory. I was kind of shocked of the offense that the Clippers ran. I mean, they helped the Warriors so much. They took one of the great players in the game out of the game. I mean, why didn't you run something, run him off at people, put the ball in his hands to get him a chance to do something? I mean, it was like he was a non-entity for them. I mean, come on. He's one of the great players in the game. Kawhi is just really tough. I mean, to get one shot during the time of most of the game, the last shot meant nothing. I mean, that's crazy. It just made no sense.
And Big Al Horford, I don't know if you mentioned his name as well.
I said they're big guys. They shot the hell. Of course, Horford was 4 for 4 from 3-point
Unbelievable.
range, right?
Unbelievable. Yes, in the fourth quarter. Yeah, perfect 4-4. The Warriors trailed by 13 in that fourth quarter, overcoming that deficit. I 100% agree with you. I saw 0 adjustments from a Clippers coaching staff that is deep. I mean, Jeff Van Gundy's like one of the assistants, and no adjustments. Kawhi just. It almost like they were trying to set up pick and rolls, and Draymond was having none of it. And Draymond was fantastic. But and another thing that I heard Iman Shumpert say this, I think on NBA Today this afternoon or morning, depending on your time zone and where you are in life. He had a critique of the Clippers as well with their defensive strategy. He thought that the Clippers failed in not forcing Stephen Curry to go right. Because of the right knee injury, what he observed is that Steph kept going left, and that nearly all of his big shots were because he was going left. And Iman Shumpert was wondering, why were you not forcing him to go to the same side as where the knee is ailing him? I was thinking about it, and I was wondering, does that matter? Rick, what are your thoughts on Shumpert's critique of the Clippers defense on Steph last night?
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me. Actually, going to your right is to be easier on your right knee, because
if you're
going to stop your momentum, you're stopping with your left leg.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Not your right leg. When you go right, you're usually going to go to shoot. You go right, you use your left leg as the stopper, and then you spin into your square up and shoot the ball. Going to your left, actually, it's your right leg. So that makes no sense to me whatsoever. But the thing is I don't care what you're doing. Do you see where Steph knocked down some of those 3-point shots from? I mean, that's what I'm telling you. The guy is dangerous once he crosses half court. I mean, sometimes he's making shots that you can't defend. I mean, you just can't defend him. Plus, he's so good with the ball that people don't understand. All I have to do, I only needed a defender to give me the slightest little motion forward or one way or the other, and I'm going to own him, because I'm going to get a half a step on him. If I get him to move a little bit forward, coming a little bit forward when I'm ready to go forward, I get a half a step on him. If I get him to move just a little bit to the left when I want to go to the right, I get a half a step on. And that's all you need. You get him on your shoulder, you own him. And Steph is so clever and so good and so quick it's an impossible task to guard them. But it was fun to watch. We'll see what happens on Friday and see where we go from there. But good luck to them. And I admire the fact that the players, I give them such great respect for not tanking.
Yeah. And again, like if you believe in things like karma, like, and this is all nothing logical here. This is, but the basketball gods is a metaphorical phrase used a lot, and I think that references mostly, karmic actions, being ethical, being moral. And again, if you believe in those kinds of things, I would think that the Warriors would get rewarded for being the only ethical team to have a losing record this season by getting a top 4 pick. That's why there's such an inner conflict again with me personally, because on one hand, I don't want to root for my team to lose. On the other hand, I see what happens if you lose. And it's like, logically speaking, I can't understand the weighing the pros and the cons of moving on to the first round of the playoffs.
Everything in life happens for a reason.
Yeah, I know you say that, and I agree.
And you sometimes don't have the answer immediately. It could be weeks before you know the answer.
Right.
A day. It could be months. Right. It could be years.
Yes.
You just don't know. So there was a reason why this happened. Let's see what happens Friday night, and then we go from there.
Yeah, great way to put it. I can't think of anything better. And bravo, sir. Again, one of the million reasons why I respect you tremendously. Chef's kiss. And I want to mention our sponsor, FanDuel. Complete opposite effect of what we saw with Warriors Clippers. The line that FanDuel set for both Warriors Clippers and Warriors Suns opened at -3.5. The Warriors money line was +128. If you don't understand what that means, you bet 100 on the Warriors to win outright, no spreads, and you get back 128. In the Clipper series, that number moved to 5.5, the Clippers being favorites, and the money line jumping up to +180. The odds makers thought that the Clippers should be the heavy favorites. And again, they make these lines based on public sentiment mostly. Opposite effect with the Warriors and the Suns. The Warriors have beat Phoenix in this recent regular season 3 out of 4 times. The line opened with the Suns favored by 3.5. It's now 3. So the betting public is putting money on the Warriors to at least cover that spread. The money line has not changed all that much. It started +128. Weirdly, actually went up. It's now +132. But those are your odds, courtesy of FanDuel. And Rick, one more quick self-indulgent comment here. We've got a second sponsor. It's not official yet, but it's official in the sense that the documents are signed. Now it's just a matter of starting the campaign. And Rick, there's a lot of checks in the mail, but I'm going to start actually sending those payments to you digitally soon. We've got some great new sponsorship-wise. Sunrun is our new sponsor.
I'm doing this because I love talking basketball. I love the Warriors. I enjoy working with you, and we have a lot of fun doing it. And my wife, my wife might care about whether or not I get paid for the time I take with you, but it's okay.
Tell her I
fine.
care too. I care too.
Well, I hope it happens. I mean, you work really hard. You're really good at what you do, and you deserve to make some money.
Thank you. I mean, that means the world coming from you, especially. Thank you so much. And again, tell Lynn the concerns are mutual, and I want to get you paid as well. And Sunrun, solar battery company. Hey, Lynn, we're almost done. We're almost done. I promise.
The checks in the mail. Is that what you're saying? The checks.
I said the checks were in the mail. There are a lot of them in the mail. But in reality, they're going to be digitally sent, so you can get them right away.
So let's hope the Warriors do what they have to do against Phoenix. We'll see. It was just fun to see them play the way that they played, and so many other players stepping up and having the game that they played. I also saw where Steve went a little short, as far as how many players he decided to use, and not that he has a lot of them because we got so many of them that were hurt. But yeah, that was fun to see. It was fun to see the energy and the excitement in Porzingis. I mean, going to the basket as hard as he did, getting those follow-up dunk shots, that was encouraging. It was very, very encouraging. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think you got guys with a lot of class. The older guys for sure. I think they're having pride in what they're doing, and that's the whole idea. How do you go out in the court and not give your best effort? I just don't understand that. You should be ashamed of yourself if you're not giving your best effort.
Wholeheartedly agree. What are your thoughts on this Suns team? I don't know if you've done your research on them. We only got you for about 9 more minutes. Very short show today. Any minutes I get with you, Rick, is a privilege. Thank you, sir. And the one thing I'm looking at with the Suns is they play a small ball brand of basketball. They've got a Mark Williams as their starting center, but they surround him with a very Steve Kerr-esque lineup, usually with 4 guards, those guards being Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Devin Booker, and Jordan Goodwin. So usually, like when I see a matchup of another team trying to replicate the Warriors style, that doesn't go well for that team. The Warriors mastered it. They practically innovated it. So I give the Warriors a huge edge there. But what's your take on the Warriors and Suns based on I'm guessing the limited research? Maybe you've done a lot of research. I don't know. But based on what you know.
Well, I mean, you pointed it out. I mean, but records don't mean anything. What you did during the regular season is irrelevant. I mean, the Warriors lost 3 out of 4 to the Clippers. So what the hell did that make? So
That's true. Yeah.
And the thing is the Warriors have a couple of bigs that are playing. I mean, who knows? Maybe who knows what Steve's going to come up. Maybe Steve's going to play both of the bigs. I don't know who at the same time. All I know is that the guys that played at the level they played with in this game last night play at that level against Phoenix, they will win. I think I don't think Phoenix can play at that level and do the things and have the kind of players that can put up those numbers, especially shoot the ball that well from 3. Because let's face it, statistically, and we're so analytical now, so statistically oriented, which is beyond my comprehension. We never did that back when I played. 80% of the games that are won in the NBA, the team that outscores the other team from 3-point range wins the game.
Interesting.
Yeah, I saw that and read it somewhere that 80% of the games, if you outscore the opposition from 3-point range, you get a victory.
It sounds like a very simple formula. The Warriors shot unbelievably well, 46.3% as a team from beyond the arc. The Clippers, meanwhile, even though collectively they shot well, most of that was because of Benedict Mathurin going 5 of 6. But you had Big Al Horford, that 4-4 performance in the fourth quarter, finishes 4 of 7. He started 0 of 3. Kristaps Porzingis, 50% from 3, 3 of 6. Stephen Curry was 7 of 12. That's almost 60% from 3. I guess the question is, based off that stat you just read, do you think the Warriors can replicate that level of shooting?
Yeah, anything can happen. I mean, obviously they're capable of doing it. It doesn't happen by happenstance or just good luck. I mean, you got to be able to shoot the ball reasonably well to shoot 40, 50, 60% from 3-point range, because that's not some kid shot. I mean, that's a tough shot from that distance, and they shot exceptionally well. So hopefully they'll do that. But the main thing is they need to come out and focus on their defense. I mean, this is where you win. You win with a consistent defense. Roller coaster ride is offense. Defense is the one thing that could be static for you. Stay there, stay right at that same high level, hopefully. And if they focus on that, because really outstanding, tough defense creates good opportunities for you offensively.
Right.
And if they do that, they'll be just fine.
It was great to hear your son Brent call the game last night as the color analyst. He's been phenomenal for Amazon Prime. I love Prime's NBA coverage as a whole. What are your thoughts on the NBA media landscape in 2026? We've had a shift this year in terms of the platforms broadcasting these games. Again, I love what Prime's done. What's your takeaway from Prime, ESPN, NBC, all this stuff?
The more exposure you get, the better it is. Yeah. That's why all this money is being paid out, And I will have to say another point. I'm happy for the women, because I've been around the women's game because of Lynn for so many years, and she helped get the WNBA started as the special assistant to Val Ackerman, who was then the president. David Stern didn't want anybody to be the commissioner, so she was the president, and she was instrumental in helping the whole league get started. And to see it come to where it is, and I just saw one of the players, I think it was Reese or someone, just signed a 3-year, $5 million something contract. So Asia Wilson, it was Wilson who signed a 3-year, $5 million contract. God bless them. They deserve to make some money. Now let's not get crazy and get carried away. Like in tennis, they got a little carried away. There's no way that the women in tennis, at the U.S. Open, should make as much money as the men if they only play 2 out of 3 sets. I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all.
That's fair.
But the women certainly are deserving of it. If they can keep playing well and keep bringing money in, and if the money goes up, their salaries are going to go up. So I'm happy for them.
And truth is, I hear what you're saying in terms of the workload, but if the women's game can draw advertising revenue as much as the men, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't get paid equally. But I also hear what you're saying, right? It's not an equal workload, a 5-set match versus a 3-set match.
And they don't play as many games. And they don't play as many games. You're right.
Yeah,
so money dictates everything. So the more money they're able to bring in, that's going to be great for them. And they all should be very thankful. They should be very thankful for Caitlin Clark, because Caitlin Clark was a major force in this happening.
Big time. Her influence on the game has been profound. And Rick, we only have you for just a few more moments here. Again, please thank your lovely wife Lynn for just allowing you to come on this program. I know how the husband-wife dynamic works. Everything starts with their permission, and so the fact that you join us, it means I need to thank your lovely wife Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. And again, the checks are no longer in the mail. They're actually going to be digitally processed soon. But what else do you have going on business-wise, sir, before we let you go? I know you got a lot of ventures.
A lot of fun stuff going on, and we can talk more about it when I have more time. But of course, go to the things, put it up again. RB24 is the code for most of them. For medicilleaf.com, of course, for the cannabinoid products. Ghostsleeves.com, we could do it for that as well. I mean, and of course, Titan Pickleball. That one is RBTP 24, RBTP, RB, and then TP for Titan Pickleball. Great paddles and great stuff there. So check it all out and get a nice discount. God bless everybody. Stay well. Go Warriors.
I got to
go. Joe Namath. Joe Namath's waiting for him. This is the Joe Namath event I'm going to.
The great Joe Namath, the Hall of Famer Joe Namath. Are you two like buddies? Like, do you hang out?
I've known him ever since, back in the day when I was there playing with the Nets and all. He started, he had Bachelor's 3 in New York City, and he was the hit of everything. And, the Noxzema shaving his legs thing. So I've known Joe for a long time. Really good guy, and does a lot to raise a lot of money for some good causes.
When you follow up your original autobiography, which was released in the early 70s, you are so long overdue for a second book. I hope you include at least one story with you and Joe Namath. Just one of those like fly on the wall type stories, because I'm guessing you've got some interesting tales to share with the audience. You've lived a hell of a life, sir. Anything we forgot? Anything you want to mention besides what we talked about before we go?
No. I'm truly blessed. I'm just excited that I'm excited for the Warriors, and who knows what might happen from here. So I'll be looking forward to Friday night to see what the result is.
Yes, sir. And Armando Laura joins me tomorrow night for a late edition of Happy Hour Warriors Suns.
I got to go.
Rick, thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.